Imagine I forced you. Imagine you're in bed and Top G walks into your room, grabs you by your hair, looks you dead in the eye, and tells you you're a failure. You can do it. You just need someone to make you do it. And I'm not going to fly around the world grabbing you all by your hair.
So it takes self-motivation to really alter your life. The guy says, boy, if somebody just come by and turn me on. What if they don't show up? Right? See, you got to have a better plan for your life. I learned some of those lessons early. I built a little sales organization way back in those early days. I'm 25. I said, I'm going to make these people successful if it kills me. I almost died. See, I've discovered this. Good people are not trained, they're found.
No matter how hard I scream down the side of the mountain, climb! It's great up here, you can make it. You just don't seem to want to try. I'm trying to convince you to do something you should already want to do, which is win. And you still just laid in bed at night after an average day of meager efforts. You went to bed broke and slept like a baby.
What is wrong with you where you cannot type on a keyboard to achieve all of your dreams? What is wrong with you where you cannot go to the gym and lift enough weights to be self-confident enough to get any woman that you desire? Do you want to lose? There's not a lack of motivation. It's you who have a personality fault. There is something wrong with you that is preventing you from being the man that you could be.
The average man in the world today, what he does is he starts something and then he stops when it's hard. So he's like a little girl. So instead you have to be a man. And when a man says he's going to do something, he does it even if it's hard. If you would have just done what you knew needed to be done, you would be sitting in a completely different situation right now. Your bloodline would be financially free for eternity. Instead, you will die insignificant and be forgotten by your own blood. Your dynasty leads to nowhere. But there is still a chance left, and you can still save your bloodline. And you'll sit there and go, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then 16 minutes after this stream ends, you're gonna be back on Steam, downloading COD like a dick. Listen to me now. Listen in your heart, because in 2 years when I play this video back, you're gonna hate yourself for your lack of action. Work harder, try harder, lock in, forget all excuses and act with speed. If you're not going to try now, when are you going to try? You have no excuse to not make money. All you have to do is try. You need to work. You need to dedicate yourself. You need to take these next few months seriously. You need to stop wasting your time and stop relying on me for temporary bursts of motivation so that you can focus on something for once in your life. Act or fail. I was not born a kickboxing world champion. I was not born internationally renowned. I was not born with money. I was not born with enough power, but I developed them all. And I decided I wanted them, and I saw them.
That is you. That is you. That no one can do it for you but you. It's very important for you to believe that you are the one, that you can make your parents proud. You can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way.
My whole life was built on hope. You do not become a 4-time world champion without it. You cannot put yourself through the training required, through the sacrifices and pain, unless you believe that you're going to win, that it's going to pay off in the end. You must believe in yourself. You must believe. How are you going to fucking talk about failure before you've even tried? Know what the metrics are for success? You're already talking about losing. You haven't even fucking tried. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to make it. Every single thing you say out of your own mouth is almost more important than the things you hear from other people. You can't be sitting there saying, I'm depressed. I got a generational curse. I'm unlucky, bro. You can't be saying these things because you're reaffirming them within your mind. And as many people are going to sit there and say, Tate, you're delusional, you're a narcissist. You go through the world saying you're super lucky and that you can do all these crazy things. It's impossible for you to be depressed. You're a narcissist, perhaps. Let's look at it in pure metrics. Who came from a worse scenario at the start? Who had a worse background? Me. Who's now more successful? Me. Who's happier? Me. Who smiles more? Me. Who sleeps easy at night? Me. Why the fuck would I want to think like you? Why would I want to adopt your thinking and be a sad fucking sack of shit? The luckiest man on the planet. You have to say these things and you have to truly believe them. So as a thought experiment, we're going to sit here and I want you to actually think about it. How many times have you doubted yourself? Didn't feel like doing something you knew you were supposed to do? How many times has your mind tricked you into procrastination or being lazy? How many times have you betrayed yourself? If you actually analyze most of your failures, you're going to see the majority of them come from self-sabotage. Even in a Romanian jail cell, my mind didn't let me down. My mind knew exactly what I had to do. I did not miss a single day's training. I did not lose my mind. I did not go mental. I acted exactly as I was supposed to act. I got as much work done as I could possibly do. I used the experience for what it was. My mind never betrayed me. If you listen and look back on most of your failures, you're going to see that it was your own mind that betrayed you.
Your mind is the battlefield. Win there and you win everywhere. This is not just a motivational line. It's the reality that defines champions, leaders, visionaries, and world changers. Everything you want, everything you fear, everything holding you back, it all begins and ends in your mind. Before any limit exists out in the world, it first exists in your thinking. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world through the lens of your beliefs. So if your beliefs are wired for fear, scarcity, and doubt, your entire life becomes a reflection of that programming. If it's filled with self-doubt, hesitation, anxiety, and excuses, you've already lost before the game has even begun. That's the power of the battlefield in your mind. But here's the flip side. If you choose to rewire that script, then your external world starts to follow suit. Winners don't just act different, they think different. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's built in the dark when no one is clapping. It's forged through repetition, through discipline, through the choice to keep pushing even when your mind is screaming at you to quit. The mind is always looking for the path of least resistance. But when you recognize that and override it, when you say no, not today, you strengthen the muscle of your mindset. Every champion, every leader, every person you admire, they all had to fight this war in their minds. They had to destroy the voice that whispered, "You're not enough." They had to silence the fear of failure and replace it with the obsession to grow. The mind will either be your servant or your master. And if you let it run wild, it will sabotage everything. It will talk you out of opportunities, relationships, goals. It'll even talk you out of your own identity. You don't get to control everything that happens around you. Life is chaotic, unpredictable, and sometimes brutal, but you do get to control how you respond. And that response is shaped in the gym of your mind. When adversity hits, and it will hit, you're going to fall to the strength of your mindset. So if that foundation is weak, if it's full of leaks and doubts and fears, you're going to crumble. That's why this battlefield matters, because you can have all the talent in the world, all the education, all the connections, but if your mind isn't aligned with your vision, none of it will matter. The mind can turn a millionaire into a bankrupt, a warrior into a coward, and on the flip side, it can turn the underdog into a legend. The mind is the difference maker. Not the economy, not your past, not your circumstances, just the mind. Most people lose this battle daily. They get hit with fear and fold. They get criticized and retreat. They feel pain and quit. You're here because you're ready to fight back. You're ready to flip the script and take your power back. Every time someone looks at you and questions your ability, that's not a setback, that's a challenge. That's firewood for the furnace of your greatness. Because the people who doubt you are just handing you energy. Proof that you're doing something worth paying attention to. If nobody's doubting you, you're not dreaming big enough. You're not risking. Doubt will come from other people, yes, but more dangerously from within. That little whisper, what if I'm not ready? What if they're right about me? That voice lives in all of us, but champions don't try to silence it. They listen, they nod, and then they step forward anyway, because every time someone says you can't, it's an invitation to prove that you can. And let's not sugarcoat it. People will count you out. You'll be underestimated, overlooked, and dismissed, especially when you're starting out. That's part of the path. Because when you learn to feed off of doubt, when you metabolize it into hunger, clarity, and drive, there is no force on earth that can stop your momentum. Because nothing wakes up your potential like being told you don't have any. Nothing unlocks your greatness like the sound of laughter behind your back. And the truth is, the bigger your vision, the louder the doubt. Good, that means you're on the right path. Destroy your excuses before they destroy your potential. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams. They creep into your life disguised as valid reasons, but make no mistake, excuses are the lies you tell yourself to stay comfortable, to avoid the pain of growth, to stay within the safe confines of mediocrity. And every time you let them slip by, you're trading your future for the temporary relief of staying exactly where you are. The moment you stop accepting excuses is the moment your potential starts to explode. And the key here is understanding that excuses are rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of taking that first step into the unknown. If you're afraid, that's a sign that you're on the right path. Because comfort doesn't demand growth, discomfort does. And excuses keep you comfortable. They keep you stuck in a loop of indecision and stagnation. It's about making a commitment to yourself that you will not let any excuse stop you from reaching your full potential. This is where true power lies, not in the absence of challenges, but in the courage to rise above them and to make progress regardless of how big the mountain seemed. The consequences of letting excuses run rampant are steep. Excuses keep you stuck in a cycle of procrastination. They prevent you from taking the first step, from making the first move. And over time, that adds up. And before you know it, the life you wanted is slipping further away. You look back and realize that all those small excuses you let slide by have accumulated into a massive wall of regret. Your future can't afford that. Your purpose can't afford that. So the time to act is now. There's no external validation required for you to rise up, to make your mark, to step into your greatness. The world doesn't need to recognize your worth for you to see it in yourself. So why wait for someone to tell you that you're ready? Why wait for approval from others, whether that be your family, your friends, or even society as a whole? The truth is they may never see it. And if you wait for someone else's approval, you'll spend your entire life in a holding pattern, waiting for a green light that may never come. The only permission you need is the one you give yourself. It starts with the decision to step into your own power, to own your story, to believe in your ability to create the life you desire. But greatness doesn't wait. It rises when you decide to rise. It begins the moment you stop looking for others to tell you that you're worthy, and instead you decide to believe it for yourself. When you give yourself permission to step into your full power, you free yourself from the shackles of doubt, fear, and insecurity. You allow yourself to take action without hesitation and without the need for outside approval. You become unstoppable. You start to show up for yourself in ways you never thought possible. And in that process, you become the person you were always meant to be. Your potential doesn't require permission. It just requires action. Limits exist only where belief ends. When you believe something is possible, when you truly believe you have the capability to achieve it, those limits begin to fade. If you have a narrow, limited belief, your reality will reflect that narrow vision. But if you expand your belief, if you challenge what you think is possible, you'll see opportunities everywhere. Suddenly, the problems you once saw as roadblocks become stepping stones to growth. You'll begin to see paths where others only see walls. The key to breaking through any limit is believing that it's not permanent, that there is always room for growth, always room to push yourself further.
Every single day when you wake up, the first battle you fight isn't out there in the world. It's inside your own mind. It's the whispers that tell you you're tired, you're not good enough, you should quit, you should take it easy, you should settle for less. The real war isn't against the economy, it isn't against your competitors, it isn't against your circumstances. It's against the voice in your head trying to convince you to stay small. Every excuse you make, every hesitation you entertain, every doubt you allow to grow inside you is the enemy. And the battlefield is your thoughts. If you don't control it, it will control you. If you don't stand guard over your mind, negativity will seep in like a virus and paralyze your potential. You have dreams because deep down you were built for greatness. You have visions because you're wired for victory. But dreams without the mental toughness to protect them will rot into regret. Every second you waste feeding fear, you're feeding failure. Every moment you entertain negativity, you're building walls between you and your destiny. You must decide, are you a warrior or a worrier? Are you a conqueror or a quitter? You have the power to command your thoughts, to reject self-pity, to destroy procrastination, to kill fear at its root. You have to be aggressive with your inner world because the world outside doesn't care how you feel. When doubt creeps in, you crush it with belief. When laziness knocks, you answer with discipline. When fear whispers, you shout back with courage. You must dominate your mind before you can dominate your life. Champions aren't built in the ring, they're built in the dark, in silence when no one is watching. When it's just you battling yourself. Winners don't have easier paths, they have stronger minds. Success isn't given to the smartest, the luckiest, or the most talented. It's given to the ones who can outlast the mental storm. You must be relentless. You must starve your distractions and feed your purpose. You must refuse to believe the lies your weak self will try to sell you. You must have the guts to fight the part of you that wants to take the easy way out. You must silence the noise, focus on the mission, and attack life with everything you have. The grind doesn't happen outside first, it starts inside. Your hands can't build a future your mind doesn't believe in. Your feet won't move toward dreams your heart doesn't own. It's a battle of loyalty. Are you loyal to your excuses, or are you loyal to your destiny? Every day you either win in your mind, or you lose before you even begin. It's a war. a ruthless, unforgiving, endless war. And it's you versus you. It's not about motivation. Motivation fades. It's about domination. It's about forcing your mind to obey your spirit. You are the general of your own army. You are the architect of your future. The price of greatness is paid in private battles fought inside your head. The ones who rise are the ones who first defeated their own demons. Your mind can be your prison or your power source. Your choice. Your life will mirror your mindset. If you think like a victim, you'll live like one. If you think like a champion, you'll fight like one. You have to train your mind to see opportunity where others see obstacles. You have to program yourself to stay locked in when everyone else checks out. You must treat every thought like it matters because it does. Every powerful life started with one powerful decision to win the war within. Right now, you are standing at the front lines. Right now, your future is watching, waiting, daring you to take command. Right now, your dreams are begging you not to give in. Right now, you must fight. Fight the old habits. Fight the old fears. Fight the small thinking. Fight the self-doubt. Fight the weakness. Fight the addiction to comfort. Fight for your future. Fight for your family. Fight for your legacy. Every time you say yes to strength and no to fear, you build a stronger mind. Every time you take one more step when your mind tells you to quit, you become unstoppable. Remember, battles are won before the world ever sees the victory. Your real enemy was never out there. It was always within. Win the battle inside, and you will conquer everything outside. It's time. Stand up, lock in, fight hard, and win the battle in your mind.